Kirsten from JK Fiber Arts. Today we are going to 3-ply this mystery fiber. Here it is on my Arch Lazy Kate. It's been so long since I've used my wheel up here. I've been sort of depending or relying on my e-spinner, and so I haven't been up here visiting my baby. So here I am. I'm gonna have a bunch of things. I have a bunch of things planned to ply up here. So this is the first of many. This is our mystery fiber. I still haven't found my notebook, but maybe by the end of this video I will have found it. So I still don't know what this fiber is. I'm not 100% sure. This is an Arch Lazy Kate. Let's go over some basics for 3-plying. So the very first thing is a tensioned Lazy Kate. When you're dealing with 3 fibers, you need to keep the tension fairly similar, and you want it to be tight enough so that they're not going to spool off and tangle, but firm enough. See how I can just touch it and well, my hand's not blocking it. Let's see if I can hold it here. There we go. So see how I can touch it here, and I can spin this, and it spins freely. So this one hits the spring though, so I'm trying to move it over. And if you don't like the way it spins, then you can always loosen this. But I like this tension at the moment, and I think this is going to be great. So we're going to get started. Remember, your Lazy Kate is going to go behind you as far as you can, and I keep it on my left side because my left hand is my back hand when I'm plying. And I am right-handed, so I believe that's the way that everybody will, who's right-handed should do it. I do want it this way, sorry. The other thing is, regardless of what type of Lazy Kate you have, you want to make sure that your fiber is coming off the side of the bobbin, not the end of the bobbin. If it comes off the end of the bobbin, you can have twist issues with your ply. So I like my stuff to come over the top. So this comes over the top, this is coming over the top, and this is coming over the top. And I'm going to do all these together, and they're going to come off the side of the bobbin. So I think we're ready. And I'm going to put this behind me, and we'll be ready for action. The wheel I'm using today is my Sonata. It's a Kromski wheel, and this is a double treadle, and it is a single drive wheel with Scotch tension. So my tensioner is coming over my bobbin, and then it runs back to this little peg here, and that's how I control my draw. And then this is the band on my wheel. And then what I'm using also here is the auto level winder. And this is from Level Winding Systems. They have a bunch of great products out. They even have an e-spinner now, which I wish I would have seen before, but I didn't. Called the Majestic. I've never used it. I really don't know much about it other than I see a couple people online using it, and I think, oh, I wish I had that. But this automatically winds, so it's kind of like a woolly winder, but way less expensive, and you can use your own bobbins. You don't have to buy the woolly winder bobbins, which is one of the amazing things about this. The slightly less amazing thing is that they only make it for a select number of wheels, and I've been asking for about 3 years now for them to please, please, please make one for my minstrel. Hi, Feeny, what's up? No, we're just getting started. Yeah, go lay down, go to your place, go to your place. Yeah. So my Lazy Kate is behind me and to my left, and as central behind me as I can get. I have a loop on this. I just bring this through the loop. You don't have to start this way, but that's just the way I'm doing it. Now remember, when we're plying counterclockwise because I spun the single clockwise, and we are off. So here I go. Just checking my draw to make sure I have the appropriate amount of tension on this, and I don't. See how I'm squunching up here? This is all bunching up and it's not drawing on, which tells me I do not have my draw tight enough. Oh, or maybe this is stuck. Let's try this. Now let's see what we get. There we go. So I just increase my tension just a smudgent. I have through each of my fingers, between my thumb and index, my index and my long and ring fingers, between my index and thumb, long and index, and ring and long fingers is where I hold this. So if you see here, this is how I typically keep them at this distance apart right here. So we are underway here, and now we have to decide, well, what angle of ply am I interested in? And this is a slippery, short stapled fiber. I think it's probably something superwash based on the properties that I am experiencing here, but I can't tell you with 100% accuracy. So what I'm going to do is look and see how this is plying here and the angle of ply. And what I see right now is that this area here is not quite what I want. Hold on, let me turn this off a minute. And what I'm looking at on here is, let's look at the pink. The little pink line here. Let's see if I can turn this whole thing to you. So I am in the center of this, and I'm looking in the S quadrant now because we are spinning in the S direction. And this degree of ply here is like 15, so not very much. And this is even lower. So need a lot more twist on this. All right, I think Finn is going to spell disaster for me here. So I am going to treadle a tad bit faster, or you can just linger outside of the orifice a little bit longer. I also have 3 different options on my bobbin here, and I have it on the smallest one, so I'm getting the most twist. And I zoomed in really close on my hand. I hope I'm not too close. Actually, I'm not even sure if this is capturing it. I should probably stop and check. I've had a request for very close up on the yarn without zooming, because I guess some of the quality is being lost when you zoom. And so hopefully I have addressed that with them. So something else that I'm not loving right now is, the other thing about this wheel is that it's a travel wheel, so it's highly movable. So I am going to put a little more tension on my band. Not a lot more, just a little more. That's another way I can adjust this, so the mother of all can move up and down. Whoop, that was a big turn, don't do that. The mother ball can move up and down, so I can put a little more tension on my drive band too, if I want to. Now let's see how this adjusted. And I'm separating these out, making sure. The other thing is, you want to make sure that you have them not tangled from the back. See how I have this little tangle right there? That is because I had a tangle behind me and I didn't notice it. So I'm just going to try to untwist this and see. This goes like this goes like this, and this one goes here is where I want them. So what I'm going to do is follow this out. Oh yeah, this is a lot better. Okay. It's a lot smoother. I like my draw. Yeah, this is good. So we're gonna stop in a minute and check again and see if we're more on track for our angle of ply here. And usually I am trying for about a 30-degree angle of ply. Now let's stop and see here. It's kind of blue and white. We might be able to find a place here to measure. So here, let's look here because there's a nice white one we can see. So now, if I'm looking at the white one here in the center, it's still a underapplied. Still a little underapplied. We're going to add some more twist. And now I have my, if you were watching, that tangle is gone, so now I don't have any snarl behind me anymore. So I'm going to put a little bit more twist in this. And that's just going to be me increasing my treadle just a little bit, not a ton. And this is going to be, I think, quite lovely. And let's look again here. Yeah, see, I still don't think we're getting enough twist. I need to decrease my draw a little bit, I think. It's a little better, but still not quite what I want. So I'm going to actually decrease my draw a little bit so that I spend more time outside of the orifice. So it's not going to draw it in as fast. There we go. So those are all the things. So most of the time when you're trying to do this, things you can adjust. You know, obviously, well, right now, Finn is leaning in. Okay, he's leaning on my wheel. There you go, baby. Thank you. So you can adjust, on my wheel, the height of the mother of all. And which is this whole thing here is the mother of all. And I can adjust the amount of twist here. I have it on the smallest one, so that's the highest ratio of twist. And then I can also adjust my draw on my Scotch tension. So all those places I have yep, that's it right there. Now I'm on 30. If you look here, see that blue one? It's on 30 right there. So I like it. Ooh, we're gonna have to stop and take a peek at the yarn too here, see what it looks like. And you're killing me, babe. You're killing me. I think your head is blocking my camera angle. I don't want to say anything good because I might not be able to see. There we go. If you lay down. Yes, good boy. Down. Yes, good boy. Good down, Finny. You're such a good boy. Good boy. And my wheel is always a little noisier in the beginning, and that's because of the flyer. Oh, this is a good place to measure twist. Sorry. That's because of the auto level winder. The bobbin has to find its balance. I've been stopping and starting so much that it's not evenly wound because I forget and it's migrating. So this is perfect. I love this. Look at how pretty that is too. Oh, I love it. Wait a minute. There, look at how pretty. It's like a pink and white and gray. Very nice. And I love this angle of ply here. This looks very good. It's right around 25. There's 15. So I wanted to get this started while we still had some daylight. But I'm losing daylight rapidly, and Finn has to go out, and my son wants dinner, so I need to go do some household maintenance items. It gets like this in the fall for me. It's so hard to get daylight hours, and so a lot of my lighting is going to be in the darkness with artificial lighting over the next... Oh, and I forgot to turn this back on. That's why another reason why I keep screwing up. With artificial lighting, because it's going to get dark earlier and earlier, and I enjoy doing stuff after work, so I was happy that I had a little bit of daylight left when I got home today. Now, the other thing we haven't checked is how thin this yarn is. I think this is going to be a lovely, lovely sock yarn. My guess is it's going to be somewhere around an 18. maybe a 16. I'd like it to be a 16. Let's see if I like this one. I do. Okay. So I'm liking all of it. And the other thing is, if you ever have too much twist, you can actually run it further back your hand here. And that will bring some of that twist out. And now you can see it's a lot less, more gentle of a twist here. So let me get this wound on. Let me try to get a little bit on without stopping. And then let my bobbin get balanced out here. The bottom line is, with angle apply is, you want to apply, it depends on what you're going to make, and it depends on how many plies you have. Usually when I'm 3-plying, I'm doing it for something that I want to be sturdier, like gloves or mittens or socks, something like that. And I like my angle apply to be a little bit higher, 25 to 30 typically. But use what you feel, because you want it to be plied enough so that it doesn't fall apart. There's nothing worse than trying to knit or weave, especially knit, with yarn that falls apart. It has that little split in it, the yarn just keeps splitting. I hate that. So I always go out of my way to make sure that that does not happen. And you can use your ply tool to check, you can use your eyeball, whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm more of a sciencey kind of a girl, so I like to measure things a lot. If it can be measured or weighed, I'm going to do it. The other thing that you can do if you're trying to be as consistent as possible is count your treadles before you let it go on to the bobbin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 treadles. Let's see if we like this. And I count 1 foot. So I pedal 1, so I count with my right foot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or however many it is for you to put it on. But I know that this needs more twists, so yeah. That's 30 on the dot right there. So I like it. So for me, it's going to be 5 treadles and then let this strip go on. And then every now and then I'll stop and check and make sure I'm not getting off target. I used to say I love to listen to audiobooks when I'm plying. And sometimes I would get, like if it's a mystery or a thriller, yeah, I kind of like the mystery thriller kind of books, the action adventure ones. And if it's at a really thrilling part, I tend to treadle a lot faster, and then all of a sudden I have yarn that's overplied. I'm like, ah! I kind of don't want to stop now because the dog is sleeping. I don't want to say his name and wake him up. It's like saying Beetlejuice. He's a good skinny dog in training. And we are right there is 30. So here is 30 right there. And that is right on the 30 right there. So I like that. So I am going to take a break and get my son his promised dinner. My husband's working 2 to midnight, so I'm kind of lazy when he's not around. And then walk the dog, and then I will be back and we will finish this up. I have our finished yarn. I have not found my notebook. I was really hoping I was going to find it. I have not found it. I don't know where it is. It's in our basement somewhere. But I wanted to show you the final yarn and the difference between chain ply and 3-ply a little here, as far as how you can take a yarn that you spin the same way and ply it differently and get different results. So this is a little piece of chain ply here that I did. And you can see here that the colors stay more distinct than they do in here. You can see individual blue, pink, white, a little bit of this peachy color in through here, a little bit of that kind of purpley gray denim stuff, pink and blue. So it looks really cool, and this would give you a more bold stripe. It still have some gentle transition to it, but it's not like this is. And then here, and when I first started doing the chain ply, I was like, oh my gosh, I think that I should have done it all chain ply. But I actually like this better in the finish yarn. I really do. I think it's just gorgeous. And let's see, I didn't even look to see what our final WPI is. So I have my 2 WPI tools here. This is my tool that usually measures a tiny bit on the thin side. And so this is saying that it is a solid 14 to 16. So here's the 14, and I can see some brown on the edges here. Here is the 14 right there. And I can see a little bit of brown on the edges if you look straight on. And then the 16, and obviously you don't want to pull this very tight. And I think we're right on the 16 here, and that's what I was anticipating having. And for the most part, that is going to be a 16. There's a couple little areas that might be a little thicker or a little thinner, but it's all pretty darn close to being that. And then here's my bigger, and this one always seems to measure things bigger than, smaller than they are. So this one, I think the WPI is probably higher. I think it's probably a 16 to an 18. And I think that this one will always say that it's even thinner. So this is, what do you have here? This is an 18 here, and this is probably one of the thicker ones. And according to this, this is an 18. So it just depends. I mean, you'd really have to just wrap it around a ruler, which I very seldom do because I've done this enough that I know that this is fingering weight, and so I'm cool with it. But if you're just starting out, all you have to do is take a ruler and just wrap it around. And that'll give you a result. But so if you look here, this is all about an 18 on this one, and there's gaps on the side. And if you put it on a 14, it's really small. I mean, I can see lots of gaps on the side. This is a nice, thin side of fingering weight, which I love. And just look at these beautiful colors. They are so pretty. Here we have it. The mystery yarn ready for sock spinning. This was 2.7 ounces, so this is going to make a beautiful pair of shorty socks. And I do believe it's going to have a subtle stripe through the background. Here you have it, the mystery fiber. Don't be afraid of negative space and white when you see hand-dyed top. Next week, I think we are going to do the oh, actually, I have 2 things. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. We're either going to do some hand dyeing using the plastic wrap burrito technique, or we are going to finish my 3-ply fractal spin. I'm not sure the order. We're doing both. I just don't know which one's first. It depends on whichever one I finish first. So either of those are coming up next week. Oh, and I also now have shipping internationally to most of the places like UK, Germany, Australia, because I had a request for that, and it was interesting to figure out how that works. So if you want to hang around, I have a little bit of Finny blooper reel at the end too for your entertainment. If you would like to see some fibery goodness, head on over to my online shop. The link is on the screen. Just click the button, it'll take you right to it. Have a great, wonderful fall weekend. I will see you all next time. Until then, spin happy. No, what are you doing? Hi. No, we're not doing this right now. I'm making a video. Now, get your nose out here. Here I go. Making sure now I'm just checking my draw and seeing how thin. Why are you putting your nose on the thing? Also do this is between, Vinny, they can't see my hand if your nose is in front of my hand. You're rubbing my wheel. No, thank you. Obviously, well, right now, Finn is leaning in. Okay, he's leaning on my wheel. There you go, baby. Thank you. Finn, you're being super obnoxious. You're super obnoxious. They can't see what I'm spinning, baby doll. Finny. Ben, no. Don't do that. Not right now. I don't want doggy drool on what I'm doing.